Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. My name is Gray Eagle, I'm pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all your wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are around the world? Welcome. The time has finally come. It has been, 365-ish days. It is the week of FSExpo, and we will be doing what I have called the FSExpo Shuttle. If you all remember, this time last year, we only had the Fenix A320. There was no A321. There's no A319. It's just the Fenix. I don't even think we had the IAEs yet. It was just the Fenix A320 CFMs. That was it. But now we have the 319, 320, 321 Sharklet IAE and CFMs. So we are in for a special treat because I will try to fit in an A321 as much as I can during the live streams here. Max Racing, hello. How are you doing this afternoon, good sir? Says, howdy, greetings. Are you going to the Flight Sim Expo? I will not be going to the Flight Sim Expo, unfortunately. I will be working over that time frame, but that's okay. When I get a chance, I'll try to tune into some of my favorite Flight Sim streamers and see what's going on at the Expo there. And if I actually don't end up getting called out, what may happen is you may see the 3318 call sign flying into and out of Providence, since I think they're gonna have it fully staffed on VATSIM during the Expo. I think the VATSIM network is gonna do like a little fly-in thing there, so you may see my call sign flying in and out if I'm not actually out and about flying in the real world. With Sir William, how are you doing this evening, good sir? Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. Thank you very much. Who's ready for the Expo? I think we're all ready for the Expo here. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Here we go. We'll go ahead and start by bringing ourselves up to the flight deck, going up to the overhead and getting IR 1, 2, and 3 online. Excellent. We'll come on down, put the recorder ground control on, and do a quick CVR test. Excellent. I'll try to bring up the sim volume just a little bit for you here. Seems like it's a little low. Alrighty, that looks good. The oxygen panel, comms panel, that all looks good, and the wipers are obviously off. Let's go ahead and test engine fire 1. Excellent. APU. And engine fire 2. That all sounds good. Hydraulic panel looks good. The fuel panel all looks good there. Our electrical panel, we could do the battery check, but it still doesn't quite work properly there. Air conditioning panel is all set, as you may have noticed. All of our knobs are to the full cold position. It is full summertime operations here. That's right. We're going to leave those on full cold and try to get as much cold air as we can pumping through the aircraft. Also, you'll see on the cargo heat, I also turned it to full cold. That's a nice little surprise for the ground crew there. When they open the door, they get a nice little breeze of cold air that comes out of the cargo door. Coming on down to the air conditioning panel. Sorry, we just went over the air conditioning panel, anti-ice panel here. That is all set. Window heat is in auto. I actually had to turn that on my last trip because the temperature dew point spread was so close When I say close, it wasn't really hot where I was. So the windows started fogging up, so I kind of used it as a defogger there. Cabin pressurization, everything should be in auto with the ditching hatch extinguished, ditching switch extinguished, and closed. That all looks good. Coming on down to the external lights, everything is set, at least for now. We'll go ahead and get the APU up and going. Excellent. We'll arm the emergency exit lights coming on up to the first officers overhead. We got the PA out to the 3 o'clock position. VHF3 is in data. That looks good. Flight control panel looks good. Cargo heat looks good. Full cold in the temperature there. Cargo smoke looks good. Ventilation is set. Engine mode is checked, and our wiper is off on the first officer's side. Coming on down to the glare shield left to right, all of our push buttons are extinguished. The current altimeter, let's see if we bring up the weather here in Detroit. Real world weather, looking at 3008. Go ahead and put that in there. 3008. Set once, set twice, and set thrice. We'll get rid of you at least for now. So we have the flight directors on. 3008 constraints are on. Arc 10 nautical miles with the VR ADF off. Coming over to the center FUCU here, we should see digits and numbers in the display. Heading vertical speed with all the push buttons extinguished. First officer's EFIS looking at the same thing. The VOR ADFs can be off 10 nautical miles arc. Constraints on. 3008, and the flight director is on.
127 departing, 21 right to the west.
And on the first officer's glare shield here, all the push buttons should be extinguished. That looks good. Coming on down to the instrument panel, we have... Gonna go... Is that Rick? Rick S? Is that how we say your name there? Thank you, thank you, thank you. If I get your name wrong, I am completely sorry there. Let me know if I get that right or not. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest, good sir. Coming on down to the main instrument panel here, we have the PFD on the left. ND is going to be on the right. Our ISIS is aligned with the upper and lower ECAM displays in the correct orientation. The brake fan is off, gear showing down through green, and the skid and nose wheel steering is on. We have the correct date, and the time is just moved earlier in the day, that's all. Landing gear is down with no red arrow. That looks good. The first officer side should show the same thing. ND on the left, PFD on the right. We can adjust the brightness as we see it. Coming on down to the center console here, or center pedestal, we have A321-200 CFM 56.5 B3 engines. Rich, okay, Rich, gotcha. Thank you very much, Rich, for joining the channel. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest, good sir. The date it looks good here, so we have a valid database. So let's go ahead to the init page. We'll go ahead and get that started here. As you can see on the first officer side, I already have the load sheet going, as I've already imported the flight on the tablet. Coming on down to our RMP, we have CTAF in the active. Standby has the Unicom. Our ACP looks good. Lighting is set. Radar is off. Predictive wind shear is off. That all looks good. Let's go ahead and check our engine oil, or what I like to call our OSO check. So oil, hydraulics, status looks good, and then our oxygen all looks good. My pleasure says Rich, who keeps leaving fingerprints on the avionics. Max Racing, let me tell you here, let me get through this flow real quick. Our trim wheel is should be showing 0 with the thrust levers and the idle detent there. Engine master's off, engine mode is norm. Our speed brakes are disarmed, flaps are up, digits displayed in the rudder trim there. It wouldn't be 0, as it would actually be displaying the position of the rudder. So you can see here the rudder is displaced off to the right. So it would say like rate 3 units or something like that. That's okay. Gravity gear extension is stowed. Coming on down to the first officer side, we'll just say the database is the same. We got the load sheet up on his side. RMP and ACP look good. The lighting is set, and we have an auto ATC of 2174. Excellent. So let's go ahead and bring up our tablet. Let me tell you, Max Racing, it never ceases to surprise me how many airplanes you fly where you look and what's the best angle? I guess, is it this angle right here? Yeah, there you go. This angle right here where you see all the these are not touch screen displays. I don't know who's going around touching these displays, but they aren't touch screen displays. And you'd be surprised at how many fingerprints you see on all these different screens that we have. It's super annoying. We do have wrong button. We do have a screen cleaner that we can get and take out and clean the screens. It's supposed to be safe to use on electronics like the screens. So we can use that, and if you are annoyed enough by it, you'll typically in cruise take it out and try to clean off the fingerprints there. Alrighty, let's see. We are going to be fairly full today, so let's go ahead and load aircraft. We'll do GSX boarding and refueling. So there we go. We're going to be Delta Airlines. 3318. We will have a cost index of 34. We'll be cruising along at 35,000 feet. Let's see. This is very different how the OFP was the first thing that popped up here. Let's see. The temperature is 34 degrees. Summertime and full swing here. Let's see what the temperature, 85 degrees. So clearly the PCA is not doing it. So what we will do is we'll just go ahead and disconnect the PCA here, and we'll go up to the overhead, disconnect the external power, and we'll get the EPU bleed air going, because clearly the PCA was not keeping up with how hot the airplane is. We do not have an alternate this afternoon, so that will be fine. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to see what our zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight CG is going to be. 150.7. So 150.7 with a CG of 26.0%. We'll go ahead and insert that there. Looking at a fuel of 20.8. Excellent. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. We'll bring our route reserve to 0% since that's calculated in our flight plan. Departing 21 right here in Detroit. We're going to be on the Howie for Lincoln transition. There we go. Excellent. That all looks good. And into Providence, we'll land 23 ILS, and looks like the Wiper 3 Hings transition. So we'll do Wiper 3 Hings. We'll insert that. Make sure we have no discontinuities other than the end of the star there. That looks fine. Excellent. Go back to init. Request some wins. Perf. Let's go ahead and get some performance going here. 2-1 right. That looks good. We'll sync the prelim 173 even. 173.0. Excellent. We don't take credit for headwinds. That all looks good. We'll calculate that on out. And we got 140, 143. 144 flex 45. We can send that to the McDo. Excellent. So we got 140, 143, 144, flex 45, flaps to Windsor uplink. We'll go over to our descent phase here, 290. That looks good. And there's nothing to worry about on engine failure, special engine failure procedures. So we'll just go ahead and copy over the active so we have that. Now that that is all done, we can go ahead and review our route. If we bring up the SID here. Let's see, the SID. Let me zoom into that. There we go. Off a 21 right, it's going to be like a 216 heading. And then a 175 course to Winers. So if we go here, we have a 216 heading, then a 175 course. That's right here. To Winers, that's going to be at or above 2,500, a maximum of 230 knots. Then we'll go to UC at or above 4,000. Then Surf is at or below 7,000. And then we have Maltby. That's going to be at or above 2,200. Then Howie. Then Lincoln. And then from Lincoln, let's see. Oh, there we go. I like that. I can get rid of that. I always have the flight plan right in the background. So from Lincoln, we'll go direct to Juliet Hotel Whiskey. Quebec 82 to Mims. So we have Quebec 82 should take us all the way to Mims and then direct to Hings. And that's going to be the transition on the Wiper 3 into Providence. We have 587 miles, 589. Good enough for me. Walk around is complete. All right, Ghost FO has completed our walk around. Thank you very much there, Max Racing. Find anything wrong with the aircraft while you were outside? I do like to ask that from AFOs when they come back in. Obviously, they would say something if they found something, but you always want to double check, make sure everything looks good there. Excellent. Temperature is coming on down quite nicely. It's nice and cold on the flight deck, and the back is still trying to cool off. So we'll let the APU do its thing there. We'll let Max Racing go ahead and settle into his seat, get all of his stuff out, and he'll let me know when he is ready for a brief. In the meantime, I can go in here, probably disconnect the GPU, since we're not using that anymore. Excellent. There we go. We're still getting fuel. Looks like they're done loading the aircraft up too. So it's really just the fuel, and they're done fueling as well. So not bad. $4,000 in fuel. $4,863. Wow. Anyone has a credit card so we can pay the fueler here? That's kind of cool though. That is very cool. All right, let's hop back inside so we can get a briefing done. You said 9.7 will be the tail strike attitude. Today it's decently warm outside. Big heavy airplane. Other than that, that's all the threats I got for you. Excellent. It should be a pretty straightforward. Where's my? There we go. Just looking for my charts. Alrighty, straightforward taxi out here. We'll push back, start up both engines. We'll take golf. We'll cross runway. What is this? 9 left. We'll take golf. Victor. This is Victor. And Mike down to the end at Mike 6. Plan on a flaps to flex. Standard reject considerations. Do you have any questions about what we need to reject for? No. Excellent. In the event of an engine failure, we'll continue straight ahead to about 5,000 feet. We'll clean up the aircraft, work the cam, and make a return back to Let's get a lot of runway. 2-1 left. 2-1 left's got a lot of runway. 10,001 feet. If we really need the runway, I think 2-2 left is closed, but 2-2 left has 2,000 more feet, so that's always doable. Other than that, we'll continue out on the SID. 17,000 feet is the top altitude on the SID. 280 knots. It shows 280 knots above 10,000 feet. We'll no ETC is online, so we don't have to do that restriction there. I do have a departure frequency of Unicom in standby. We're squawking 2174 for our auto ATC. You have any questions, comments, or concerns about that? The left main landing gear tire has a flat spot, but other than that, the airplane looks good. You'll sometimes see that. A lot of times, if you have any questions, what you can do is just call maintenance out, right? So like we're in like a super large Delta hub here, right? So you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to do the brake check. So let's do that. That looks good. And just got to make sure brakes are set all over again. There we go. So yeah, what you would do is you would just call out maintenance, say, hey, how does this look to you? Is that within limits? And if they say no, then obviously they're going to replace the tire. We got 4212.7, 4212.8. We got 08321.2. 08321.2 looks good enough to me. ND looks good. PFD, we have V1, V2, climate nav, or blue flight directors 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and check our oxygen there. That looks good. Are we done refueling? We are. So we can go ahead and go up top. Get the fuel pumps on. Seatbelt sign can come on at this time as well. And we can check that our fuel is on board, balanced with the pumps on. Hydraulics all look good. Pressurization is an auto with a landing elevation, and we have enough engine oil for our flight. Let's go ahead and do a before start checklist. Recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and maintenance log is on board. Reviewed. Aircraft 3065. Fuel quantity. Refer to this. Just get rid of that. That's amazing. Fuel quantity. 20.8 required, 20.7 on board. Takeoff performance, we're looking at 140, 143, 144 with a flex of 45. Oxygen is checked. Our seatbelt sign is on. ECAM has been checked. Park brake is on and checked. MCDU is set. Altimeters, we have 3008 set thrice. And our departure briefings review. The before start checklist is complete. Speaking of tire issues, yeah, we had something similar to that on my last trip as well. Had to call maintenance out. I took a look at it because what will happen is, so you have, I'm gonna turn down the sim volume because it's about to get insanely loud going outside. There we go. Oh, they're just now. I don't know. GSX, it seems like every time there's an update, it fixes something, but then it breaks something else. So now my guys are all purple. I don't know why GSX got to be like that. Why you got to be like that, GSX? But you come back here, right? So you have this only has a chalk on one side. That is not correctly chalked. That is not correctly chalked. It would be on both sides. You wouldn't do one in the front on one side and one in the back on the other side. You'd have it chalked on both sides. But you'd come here and you see the grooves. If I can stop moving the camera around, you see the grooves in the tires here. That's not for like that's not a tread that you can use to, like, you know, fly on water, or, you know, roll down the runway with standing water. It's not going to kick that water out from the tire so you can get better grip. That's literally wear indicators. And so what'll happen is, once this is worn out, you'll have a completely bald tire. It will look completely bald, or have almost very flat grooves. And then right below that, the bottom side at the flatmost spot is a cord, a silver cord, that will start peering through when the rubber is completely gone. That is the indicator that it is almost time to change your tire. Yeah, so we had that indication on my last trip. So maintenance came out, took a look at it, and said, yep. They'll usually, what they do is they'll look at it and they got to measure it and do all types of stuff. And then once that's all done, they go into their manuals and see how many landings that the aircraft can do with it, like that. Sometimes they'll give it just enough to get it back to a place that has maintenance where they can change it real quick. So like they'll give it, 3 or 4 more landings. Sometimes they'll give it, 15, 20 landings. So it really all depends on the size, location, shape, all that fun stuff. So yeah, at least you're not getting that weird glitchy scenery bug. So yeah, this is Detroit, so definitely for sure I think all the airports I'm going to be flying to for our FSExpo shuttles, they should not be getting the scenery glitch, because it's all third-party sceneries that are fairly well optimized. So I'm not anticipating getting any weird scenery glitches like that. So fingers crossed there, Max Racing. Looks like they're done loading the last bags underneath the aircraft there. And it sounds like, yep, got the little ding. That means the flight attendants are done. Excellent. Aircraft is loaded. Let's go ahead and get the door closed here. We'll arm our beacon, or arm the doors, turn on the beacon. So we have 1, 2. There we go. All of our slides are armed. So doors close and lock. All 8 slides are armed. We have our PANTS on, and our beacon light is on. All looks good there. And let's go ahead and come down here and check our company message, our last closeout here. There we go. We'll do nose to the right, obviously. That's the one we want. So we'll release our parking brake. There we go. We closed out at 150.8. So we'll go here, 150.8 with a CG of 26.0. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and start our number 1 engine. Yeah, Max Racing, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm hoping it's just as enjoyable for you this week as we fly into and out of Providence, Rhode Island. It took me a little bit of time to figure out which airports I want to fly into. Unfortunately, tomorrow. So what we'll do is this is going to be a single day stream. The rest of the streams, at least tentatively, are going to be 2-a-days. So we're going to be doing, hopefully, depending on how my schedule works, noon streams and then a 7:30 stream every single day for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And for turn and burn Tuesday, we're going to be doing 2 turn and burns. That's right. We're going to be doing 2 turn and burns on turn and burn Tuesday. And I was trying to figure out, you know, two unique nearby places that I can make it work. And unfortunately, I was not able to come up with like a good solution. So it's going to be a double New York turn and burn. So tomorrow, the morning or afternoon turn and burn, morning turn and burn, will be, I forget which one I have. Either way, one of them's going to be LaGuardia, one of them's going to be to Newark. So 2 New York turn and burns, but we will do, that's a total of 4 flights in one day. Definitely looking forward to turn and burn Tuesday tomorrow. Alrighty. We got a pin. Excellent. We can go ahead and let her know. We have that. Salute. Thank you very much. Area is clear. She's waving goodbye. Flaps too. After start checklist, engine ties we definitely don't need. The rudder status is the status is checked and the rudder trim is 0. The after start checklist is complete. Since we have a fairly short taxi out of here, let's go ahead and do our flight control checks at this time, shall we? Pull up, pull down, neutral, pull left, pull right, neutral, rudders, pull left, pull right, neutral. Excellent. We'll set the auto brakes to max. We've double checked all of our numbers here. Our trim is going to be about 0.8 units up, right about there. And we will go into auto for the predictive wind shear. And takeoff configuration check looks good before takeoff checklist. Flaps are 2 planned and 2 indicated. Takeoff data and speeds are all checked. Our weight, we're looking at 171.4. And we're predicting 170.9. That looks good. Stab trim. We have 25.3%. They were estimating 25.3%. Looks good. Flight controls are checked. Decam memo. Take off cabin is blue. We are to the line. 35.0. Yep, we're on CTAF. Let's see. Let me bring the tablet up here. We'll bring up the airport diagram. Shift you over to where the iPad would really be. And there we go. Detroit traffic. Delta 3318 will be taxiing runway 21 right via Golf, crossing runway 90 left, Victor and Mike, Detroit area traffic. Excellent. So we have our call out. We'll get the engine spooled up here. Brake is released. Let's begin our taxi on out of here. Yeah, Max Racing, I'm glad we have a whole lot more variation in aircraft this time too. So I'm trying to hit up all the airlines. You know, obviously 1 or 2 are left out. That is quite all right. If I don't get to them now, I'll get to them at a different time. Is Golf off tour right here? I think it is. Yoop. Yeah, that's gonna be the right taxiway. Let's slide on over there. There we go. Much better. What I did find find a little bit difficult is the fact that Vegas was in such a good location in terms of airports that were around it. It kind of gets a little cramped in the Northeast, and I found myself going south a lot, which is no big deal. I try to break up all the south flying with at least one or two flights that will be to and from the north there. So hopefully it won't get too monotonous, but there we go. We're approaching runway 90 left. It is clear on the right and clear on the left. Detroit traffic, Delta 3318 is crossing 9 left on Gulf, Detroit traffic. So let's go ahead and get our lights on. Excellent. Man, I have not moved the engines back to idle since I spooled them up, and we're only going 11 knots. This airplane does not, the CFMs do not like to move. That's okay. That is quite all right. Alrighty, we'll make this turn here onto Victor. Oh, didn't mean that. It sounded like it moved 2 spots when it only moved 1. Alrighty. Once we make our turn onto Mike, we'll continue our checklist. And yeah, I brought the thrust levers back to idle, and we're already slowing up. There we go. Let me bring the thrust back up. Beautiful day, absolutely clear day. Although, to be fair, I guess that's the reason it's so hot up here. I was listening into Captain Canada earlier today, and I think he said it got up to like 90, 92, 93 degrees up there. Even hotter, which is, I mean, you think of Canada being far north, but wow, that is insanely hot. So we'll definitely have to head out to like a place like Phoenix or Vegas, or even Denver. We'll see how hot it's getting in Denver. If it gets hot, then that's real hot, high and heavy right there. Let's go below the line for our checklist here. The runway and FMS. We'll put you on flight plan. Put you on performance. We have runway 21 right in the box on the screen and out the window. That is checked. Our minimum takeoff fuel, looking at 20.2 required, 20.4 on board. Flight attendants are notified. Engine mode. Actually, they're not notified. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Flight attendants are notified. Engine mode is norm, and let's go ahead and switch our TCAS to TARA. The before takeoff checklist is complete. Only 11 knots, and here I am cruising along with a thrust at almost 30% on each side. You call 93 hot? It says, okay. I mean, you win, Max Racing. You are down. What was the temperature down there at Houston today? Because I know it's not only hot, it is also humid. I don't think that came through the microphone. It is humid with that hot H there at the beginning. Yeah, absolutely humid down there. It's that time of year where you just kind of avoid going outside. Just stay inside and stay in the AC as much as you possibly can, so you don't walk around like a human sweat rag. I do like taxiing around with just the rudder pedals. Absolutely amazing. That's what I'm doing now. I think the rudder pedals are too sensitive in terms of like how much noseable steering they give you, because you wouldn't see this much zigzagging when I'm using the rudder pedals. But it is a joy to fly the just taxi the airplane just using rudder pedals. It was a frigid 91 today. That is quite chilly. That is quite chilly. I used to do that a long time ago when I was at the regionals. In my announcements, if it was we were flying to a place like Houston and it's like 100 plus degrees, I'll say when I make my part of the PA where I'm saying the temperature, I'll say it's a frigid, just like you did, frigid 91 degrees outside. Or if I'm flying to a place like Vermont in the wintertime, Let's see it's a balmy 30 degrees outside. Alrighty. Let's see. The final appears to be clear. No one is on the runway, so we'll go ahead and make our call here. Detroit area traffic, Delta 3318 departing runway 21 right on the Howie 4 departure, Detroit traffic. Alrighty. So that all looks good. We'll let them know we are taking the runway. Get all of our lights going. Sound can come up. Excellent. And let's enjoy this departure out of here. What's our flex temperature? I think it's like 40 something degrees. So pretty low flex temperature. Alrighty, half down on the side stick here, spool them up to 50%. Alright. Flex. Thrust set. $80 checked. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Beautiful. Get that autopilot going on. Let it take over doing the work. We just get some beautiful views of Detroit. Fantastic. We get that positive trend in airspeed. Let's get to the back for the spool down. Beautiful. We're accelerating. We can go to laps 1. And what I'll probably do is, S speed. I'll probably get that auto retract to happen. So that's what we'll do. We'll wait and get that auto retract, and then we'll go flaps up. How about that? So I'm gonna do it off of this side. We'll wait for that auto retract to happen. Bring the sim volume back down to a more reasonable level. There we go. And we'll wait for that auto retract to happen. When that happens, we'll go flaps up. The one thing I do love about the A321, you almost always, if you're at max takeoff weight, gonna get that auto retract. There it is, flaps up. Absolutely beautiful. Forecast to rise a bit soon. You mean like later on this week? The temperature is going to get into like the mid to high 90s. Detroit area traffic. Delta 3318 departing the pattern to the east. Detroit area traffic. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go back up to the front here. We can go into an open climb mode so that we can go above 7,000 feet. We won't level off here at 7,000 feet and continue our after takeoff flow. Landing gear is up with no lights. The flaps are up. We have diff P, so we're pressurizing. After takeoff checklist is complete. There we go. Absolutely beautiful takeoff out of Detroit. Once again, that morning sun rising in the Detroit area. Yeah, this livery, for some reason, it has the mismatch. You know, it's like a newer radome, so clearly it's wider than the rest of the airplane. But I don't know what this is. They just put on a new slide panel without actually painting it, so that's what that is. That's the emergency slide. You see that happen from time to time when they take a slide off, replace it, something like that. You'll get a slight mismatching color because they try their best to match the paint. But what will happen, and you know, we recently just had the house painted, and you know, I was asking the painter that we ultimately ended up hiring, like, hey, you know, what quality of paint is going to be a good one, so that if I ever need to go back and repaint and touch up or yada yada yada, that it won't show. And he just said, honestly, anything after 1 year, you're gonna be able to see all the patchwork. So as best as they try to paint the parts to make it match, because the paint on the airplane itself is kind of old, kind of dingy, kind of dirty, right? It just will never work. That's why when you go outside, you have this brand new radome, but you see the airplane is a slightly different white than the rest, than this radome is, because that's the new part. The airplane's been painted like this for 10 years, you know. Same thing here. I don't even think they bothered painting this. They just slapped it on and said, keep it going. Alrighty, it seems like we have passed through 10,000 feet. It looks like we are accelerating here. That's good. We don't have to worry about the 280 knot restriction here. I'll get Unicom up. We'll expand our map out, and let's go ahead and get our lights off. Let them know we're done with our sterile. Excellent. You say after engine 1 started, we should have dropped our flaps, then started 2. Apparently that's what they do at Delta. Okay, that's well, I mean, you definitely do that when you're single engine taxiing for sure. And when you start getting it at temperatures, so temperatures above 38 degrees, or 38 degrees and higher, is when you're going to really want to start having those flaps not in the up position. So that's why you'll see a lot of times Airbuses, when it starts, that temperature starts getting above like 32, 33, 34 degrees. A lot of airline operators, I don't know, you know, everyone has their own separate temperature. Ours is 38 degrees. Where you're going to leave the flaps at 1. And then our policy is to bring them up. As you're turning into the gate, you'll bring them up. And that's to prevent spurious ECAM. You kind of get a spurious, wing bleed hot, something like that. ECAM message when the temperature is really hot and the slats are up. That's where that ECAM message comes from. And it could be just, it's so hot outside that sun is baking that leading edge, and it could rise above the temperature threshold required to set off that ECAM. So that's why you'll see almost every Airbus, when the temperature starts getting above 32, 34 degrees, somewhere around there, is what I'm starting to notice, is they all get their flaps around at 1. And a lot of them will just leave them at 1. Some people will bring them up. Some people will leave them at 1. It really all depends. So yeah, if Delta does that flow makes a ton of sense. If you're going to be always single engine taxiing, right? Because that flow makes it normal. It normalizes your single engine taxi, right? You'll always set your flaps in single engine taxi. Not how our flows are set up. I mean, we do have a single engine taxi flow, but we don't. It's not part of our standard procedure to turn on engine 1, then drop the flaps. And the reason for that as well is, what if we're turning on both engines at the same time, but we're still pushing back? We do not want to move any flight control surfaces while ground personnel are in and around the aircraft. Even though they should be at the end of the wing, right? You don't want to drop flaps on someone and maybe they're under the wing, and now you just hit someone on the top of the head, right? You just booped them on the top of the head. So that's one of the reasons why we always wait until we receive the pin and they're walking away from the aircraft before we move any flight control surfaces. Let's see, wrong button there. We're approaching 17,000. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep that climb going to flight level 350. A little bit of turbulence here. Get that open climb going. Or I could actually manage it up now that we're a decent ways past that fix there. So 35, manage climb. That looks good. And we're transitioning. Let's see. The current altimeter in Providence, Rhode Island is going to be, we have a VATSIM controller on in Providence. Well, there we go. Yeah, I think Boston Center is on. The altimeter is going to be 3002. So we'll pre-select 3002 and we'll go transition standard, set once, set twice, and set thrice. There we go. And we can go ahead and get that external wing light off. Get rid of our tablet. And let's go ahead and get some in-flight entertainment going and flight music going. Let's see. I don't think that's coming through all the way. And of course, it's going to be in between songs right now. There we go. Hopefully that's coming through. I hear it a little bit louder in my headset probably than you can on your side. Let me bring this up just a tad. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I really need to go back and look at my original FSExpo videos just to see and hear how things were a year ago, when all I had was my Thrustmaster set up and my little headset that I wear. So the plan being tomorrow, we should be doing, it's Turn and Burn Tuesday. I plan on doing Spirit Ops. So I think we'll take the Spirit A320 Sharklet from Providence down to LaGuardia. Now I was setting up everything for my streams for the rest of the week, so I was hopping around all the different airports that I wanted to go to. Just kind of seeing how everything worked, getting GSX not profile set, but getting the gates all set up for the airlines and equipment that I want to use. So I did find out, and I am glad I did this, because I did find out that the MAT, the Marine Air Terminal, which is where Spirit parks at in LaGuardia, for some reason, I have no clue why, the gate will not work when I'm at it. Now, if I turn on FSLTL and it spawns in an airplane, the gate will move right towards that airplane. But if I try to get the jetbridge to come, it just won't come. I don't know why that was happening. So, in a bit of unrealistic operations, we'll be parking at the main terminal instead of at the MAT there in LaGuardia. So we'll park at the main terminal. We will turn it, we'll burn it, and get on our way back to Providence, Rhode Island. And then that evening, we'll do some United operations. I think an A319. We'll take the United. I forgot if I had a 319 or 320. I already forgot what I had for the stream. But we'll do United operations from Providence down to Newark. And I actually ended up picking up a Newark scenery. I held off on it for the longest time, but I finally had to do it. And I mean, I guess the good thing is it's compatible with 2020 and 2024. And so I was trying to find out sceneries that were going to be compatible with 2020 and 2024. Mostly 2024, because let's be honest, this is the sim that I'm flying in the most, or almost exclusively. And so I wanted something that was going to work in 2024 and also look good. And I think I'm going to be really happy with the Newark scenery. I forget who the designer, I think it's MK Studios, did it. And I think they did a really good job in terms of optimizations, because there were options to turn off certain things. So I think I had the option of like turning off the realistic interiors and moving people, and so I don't have to sacrifice my frames on things that, quite frankly, like I said, I don't use. Now, if you use it, fine, leave them on and have fun with that. But they did a really good job giving me the option of having being able to turn that off. So, really excited to fly into Newark for the first time on the channel here. And so that will be some United A319 ops that evening for Turn and Burn. It's always fun when we get to do a short runway landing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I don't even think... Oh, yeah, LaGuardia is a short runway. I forgot about that. Well, stay tuned this week, Max Racing, because it gets even spicier, right? So I said we're taking an A320 into LaGuardia, which is a short runway, right? But that's not the smallest airplane we'll be taking into a short runway. We'll be finishing off the stream. So that's tomorrow. Tomorrow, Turn and Burn Tuesday, we have 2 Turn and Burns going for you tomorrow. Wednesday, we will be going from Providence, doing some Air Canada ops. So we'll do Air Canada ops from Providence up to Montreal, and I really didn't know. I figured, it was going to be between Montreal and Toronto. And after a lot of thinking, I said, well, we did this flight from Detroit, which is like, right on the other side of the lake from Toronto. So I said, you know what, let's mix it up. Let's go up north. So that's what we'll do. So we'll do Air Canada up to Montreal, and then that's going to be an A320. Like I said, I'm going to try to fit in an A321 wherever I can on these streams. So that's going to be an A321 flight. Speaking of which, well, not A321, but Air Canada ops. On my last trip, I saw an Air Canada A319. I think it was an A319. I'm not too sure. I forgot already. But I saw an Air Canada A319 or 20, one of the two. And so, watch your ears. We're getting ready to go outside. Here we go. Excellent. So, you know how Air Canada, they have the, whatever you want to call it, the eyeliner, the bandit mask, whatever, right around the windows. And then it's got the black tail with a black sharklet and a black engine nacelles. Yeah, this airplane did not have the bandit mask, and the engine nacelles were white like the airplane. It was very. It took me a second to realize that livery was different than what they normally have on their airplane. So I don't know if like that airplane was like one of the original ones that got painted, or if Air Canada is trying a different look and getting rid of the bandit mask, or what. But it looked different, and let me tell you, with only the tail having the black with the logo on it, it kind of looked weird. It's I like the bandit mask and the black engine nacelles because it adds that pop of color. Otherwise, you just have a long white airplane. I'm not hating on Delta. You got the blue engines and the blue sharklets as well. So you get your pop of color. Plus the red and blue. The red, white, and blue is just so classic. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, that was a different livery I had never seen before. Didn't even know that a livery like that was out there just floating around. But yeah, so we're going to be doing some Air Canada operations up to Montreal. And then that evening on the return flight, we're going to be doing some Air Transat operations back to Providence. So yes, another A321. This time in a Sharklet, by the way, A321 Sharklet and the Air Transat livery back to Providence, Rhode Island. That's our Wednesday. You say Delta has the Bel Air 2. Oh, yes, I forgot about that as well. That's another thing that I absolutely love. Whenever you look up at a Delta airplane flying overhead, you got the Delta logo right on the bottom of the aircraft. Absolutely perfect branding. Whoever thought that up in the executive suites earned themselves all of that bonus, because that is literally free branding. It's free branding. Anyone that looks up and sees that, they know. So let's see, it took us through Wednesday, and then Thursday is going to be the last day that I stream, because like I said, I go back on call on Friday, and I do not like planning streams on days I have on call, because you just never know if you're going to work or when you're going to work or anything like that. So Thursday will be the last stream. Like I said, if I just so happen to be home over FSExpo weekend instead of working, look for the call sign flying in and around the Providence area, or wherever there's going to be VATSIM ATC. I have no clue what I'm going to do. We have the whole US lit up with VATSIM air traffic controllers. It might not necessarily be in and out of Providence. It could literally be anywhere, but I'll hop online and do a few VATSIM flights, because why not? I like having fun on VATSIM and having air traffic controllers. But Thursday will be our last day of streaming. Again, another 2-for-1. So we'll have a noon stream or afternoon stream, depending on how my schedule looks for the week, and an evening stream. And this time we will be doing some JetBlue A321 Sharklet operations from Providence, Rhode Island, all the way down to Washington, D.C. So we'll see. I might end up doing the river visual, might not end up doing the river visual. It really doesn't matter to me either way what we end up doing. It's a big airplane, short runway, and we'll see if we can get her down on the very first try, because the Sharklets definitely love to float, but there is a certain technique to just letting her get down on the ground. Within the first, really have about the first 1,200 feet of runway that you need to land it on. Well, need to being a strong word. You can land it slightly beyond it. The touchdown markers is not required. If the runway condition code is 555 or better, meaning you gotta have really good braking action in order for you to not do the short field landing technique. So we will do JetBlue into DCA that afternoon, and then on the way back that evening to finish out our 4 days of streaming, we will go and do some American Airlines ops, taking the Cactus American Airlines livery though. So another A321. This one, though, will be a non-Sharklet. So with the wing fences, we'll be taking that one out of DCA. So we'll get some short-filled A321 operations as well out of DCA and head on back to Providence. And at the conclusion of that, we'll take a little trip on down the road in Providence to downtown Providence and take a quick tour of the convention center. So stay tuned to the last stream of the week as we make our way to downtown Providence to give a little tour of the convention center that I has taken so much time to model for us here. Let's see, have we leveled off here at 35,000 feet? I hear the engine's rolling back. Yep, we have leveled off here at 35,000 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and select our speed. We'll do 80. That seems fine, and it seems smooth out, so we'll go ahead and get that fasten seatbelt sign turned off. Excellent. Looks like we have 418 miles left to go, looking at just about 1 hour of flying time left. I know Flight Live tends to get the flying time, it says 46 minutes, but it really is just around about 1 hour of flying time left. So there we go. Let's see. Well, nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted McDo. AOC menu, received messages, Delta Ops. All right. Huge delay. Shame on me. What I've learned that I need to do to get at least GSX to be able to not give me the red sim brief does not match error there is I'm just setting the time to like 1 minute before the next day Zulu time, and that way I'm not getting a wrong daytime logic there. So today SimBrief actually was green for the first time in a while, which is why it actually did take quite a while for us to load up, because it had the actual numbers we were using. It just wasn't faking the numbers. It was actually loading up the right number of passengers, the right number of bags. It would always get the fuel right, but the bags and passengers were always just up for tomorrow. So are you streaming Let's see. Let me go backwards a little bit there. I'm going to be trying to get my PC set up. So are you streaming tomorrow or Thursday? Max Racing. Hi. How you doing? I take it you may be very into your studying for your private pilot exam there. Hopefully all is going well. If you have any questions that I maybe possibly could answer, throw it in the chat and I'll try to answer it the best I can. But short answer is yes. Long answer is rewind the stream a little bit and you'll hear the whole explanation about what I'll be flying here over the next few days. So hopefully you got that. If you didn't get that answer, then let me know. But yeah, there you go. Short answer yes, long answer rewind the stream a little bit, and I have a very very long-winded explanation of the streams this week. I had to rewind. Yeah, there you go. It's a long-winded answer, so you might want to do that later on. For those of you who are just joining in, welcome to the Eagle's Nest. I really do appreciate you spending a little bit of your afternoon, evening, morning time, wherever you are in the world, with me here. I really do appreciate that. Sitting here thinking about how you have your private pilot exam there, and thinking about next year, around April-ish is when my certificate expires for my CFI, and I got to renew it. I have the flyers. I do the flyers program. I can keep it that way. Another cheat code is when you're a captain at a 121 carrier, you can actually go to the FAA and apply to renew it using your captain credentials for to renew it, because in the FAA eyes, captains should be, and I mean rightfully so, we are training and mentoring the next generation of captains, right, for our respective airlines. So it is technically teaching that happens, so that's how they justify you being able to renew your license that way. I still do the flyers simply because it's not insanely difficult, and you kind of do get a little bit of a pulse on the changes that have been happening in the aviation community, general aviation and flight instructing community in specific. So I do like doing the flyers course. Yes, it does take a little bit of time because everything's timed now. But you do kind of get a little bit of insight into what's changed over the last 2 years, because it's once every 2 years. So it's like when ATC gives you a long transmission and you lost them a couple words in. Oh, 100% max racing. Yeah, a lot of times, especially when you're in the Northeast in particular, the air traffic controllers they have so many airplanes that they talk so insanely fast that it's absolutely ridiculous how fast they end up talking to you. And you're like, okay, I get it. You have a lot of airplanes, but you know that they're all moving at a certain speed. So I think you're going to be fine if you just slow your roll just a little bit there. The last trip ended up in Chicago, going through Chicago, I should say. And the taxi in, I kid you not, ground control, there was no readbacks. Ground control literally just kept talking the entire taxiway in, the taxi in. They did not stop talking. They just kept blurting out commands to airplanes. So you needed to listen up and listen to your call sign and what was going to happen, what they were telling you to do next, because there is no stopping. Once she got going, that was it. You know, she was on a roll. And that is hands down the busiest I've ever seen Chicago. There were so many planes taking off, even more taxiing around. And then we got off the airplane, got inside, and the mayhem was inside as well. Chicago, clearly, people are escaping Chicago right now, trying to get to some beach somewhere, I guess. So yeah, that is, it can get very, very, very busy on the frequency very quickly. And then you get the one or two controllers that just it's one long sentence that they say without unkeying the mic. So that definitely does happen. It's going to be raining tomorrow, so I'll see if I can finish up my PC, get it fired up, install Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in Phoenix, and tag along. No problem. Max Racing, look forward to you tagging along on our flight if you can tomorrow. Apparently here, and Houston, they'll give you the whole alphabet for taxi instructions. Oh my gosh, I don't. So let me bring this up here. I want to search the airport. There we go. Let's bring up the taxi diagram, shall we? I just want the standard taxi diagram. There we go. What on earth, Houston? Why did you name everything twice? You can't just name something Sierra. It's got to be, or in Sierra 1, Sierra 2, Sierra 3, Sierra 4, Sierra 5. It's got to be Sierra Bravo, Hotel, Juliet, Alpha, Golf, like Foxtrot, Charlie. It's oh my gosh, Houston, it can't just be whiskey 1, whiskey 2, whiskey 3. Nope, it's got to be whiskey Victor, whiskey Delta, whiskey Golf, whiskey, where is it, Kilo. It's why Houston did you do this to me? Do you hate me? What did I do to hurt you, Houston? Why? Now you look at it and it's kind of broken up logically. So you have East Taxiway on the east side, West Taxiway on the west side, South Taxiway on the south side, North Taxiway on the north side, and then from there kind of, R for ramp, I guess. So that's why this is R. And then I don't know. F for far. This is the far runway, so F for far. So it kind of starts making sense if you can break the airport down into regions like that, and only think about the last letter that they give you. That way, a November Fox. You just have to think they're taking you the November route, so you're gonna say Foxtrot, Romeo. Or what is this? Romeo, Foxtrot, Bravo, and Echo. So instead of thinking it in terms of November Foxtrot, November Bravo, November Echo, you'll just think of it as Foxtrot Romeo or Foxtrot Bravo Echo. The first one will be N, but your instructions will be Foxtrot Bravo Echo. And so it makes it a little easier when you think of it broken down in terms of that. But yeah, Houston did not. They will give you the full. They will give you the full runaround in terms of the alphabet there. He said, if I do, look out for American 3340. Will do. Max Racing will do 3340. That'll be your call sign. Sweet deal. Get rid of that. There we go. Let's switch it up to the other side. Absolutely beautiful. Mountains on the right side of the aircraft there. And also thank you for not having your call sign insanely similar to mine, like 3319. Because there's no way I'd ever mix 3318 and 3319 up, right? The nice thing is, if you join in the evening time, Newark has 2 nice long runways to use, so if you join up in the afternoon, that's LaGuardia can be a little spicy to fly into. Let me put it like that. I do need to come back in here and resave these wing views. The wing views are literally a carryover from the non-shark or the non-sharklet wing fence version, whatever you want to call it. And because of that, like if I what view is this? Do that again. All right. So if I go back to that wing view, or even if I switch it up to the other side, okay, that's a little bit better. But I have it so that it's kind of blocked by Fly Live. That's okay. Just need to go back and reset it so it's not looking as far down. I kind of like the way I had it set up being that far down is because what are you looking up for, right? It's just sky up there. Down is where the ground is. That's where all the beautiful scenery is. So that was kind of my reasoning behind making the wing views what they are. I was thinking about American 3319 just to mess with you. Oh, you would. Oh my gosh. Especially that you wouldn't just be messing with me, especially if there was like FATSIM controllers online. You'd be messing with them too, man. Trust me, it happens in the real world all the time. And they don't even have to be the same airline. They just have to have the same numbers, and it still confuses controllers. I definitely have had it before where a controller will say American 3319 climb and maintain flight level 230. No one says a word, right? American 3319 climb and maintain, or sorry, American 3318. That's what it'd be. American 3318 climb and maintain flight level 230. No one says a word. American 3318, climb and maintain flight level 230. No one says a word. American 3318, climb and maintain flight level 230. And then finally, you'll key the mic and say, Delta 3318? And they'll say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it definitely does happen. And it's fun to hear them get annoyed that no one's talking to them when they're the ones making the mistake. So whenever that happens, I like to say, are you talking to a Delta 3318? I never wanna speak on the radio in a way that will make it seem like the controller. I try to bring it up in a manner that is not insulting, right? So I kind of pose it. That's why I try to pose it as a question. And not just come on and say you got our call sign wrong. Like, no, because all that's going to do is now you're escalating the situation. If you just post the question, are you talking to Delta 3318? Then they'll say, oh yeah, sorry, I get the call sign wrong. But if you go, you got our call sign wrong, get it right, that's only going to escalate things, right? So and we don't need that. We're not on VATSIM. Okay, we're not on VATSIM. So I will admit, there's nothing better than hearing a controller who's just on it. It kind of reminds me of those auctioneers. So 100%. I'm like, they don't even stop to take a breath. I do not know how they do it. They just go on and on and on and on and on at 1,000 miles an hour. And those controllers, because they have so many airplanes that are moving around and everything's moving, right? So it's a constantly changing picture, and they're constantly giving instructions to aircraft. And if you miss your call sign, those controllers are the ones that get annoyed real quick. So after about 2 missed call signs from 2 separate airplanes, you'll start getting the, all right, everyone, listen for your call sign. I don't have time to repeat myself. You start getting that little message from the controller, which you don't want to do. And it's kind of funny because, like, you can definitely tell when you're flying along and the controller's super busy, and, you know, 1 or 2 people are about to or don't hear their call sign and don't respond. And I just look over at my FO and I say, this controller's about to lose it on these guys. And that's why being an air traffic controller is a very stressful job. A lot of people are depending on them. I would like to imagine that your average VATSIM controller's desk is riddled with the energy drinks and coffee. Yeah, well, I don't know. It really depends on how long I guess they'll be online controlling, right? Because they can get on at any time they want, right? An air traffic controller, they have to be on radar or whatever it is in position for X amount of minutes out of their shift, right? Whereas a VATSIM controller, they can hop on at 7 and get off at 8 if they want to. So if they wanted the real experience, yeah, they'd have a few energy drinks in a dimly lit room, you know, with 1,000 people yelling at them. And other controllers, that's the other thing. In real life, other controllers are calling. These controllers, they all talk back and forth to each other. Say, hey, I get a Delta 3318. He's a 350. Can I get him direct to so-and-so fix? Yeah, that's approved as a request. I send him over when he's at my boundary. Okay. So, you know, they make call outs to each other in the background as well. Stuff you don't see and stuff you don't hear. And it's all one big symphony. Have I told you about my RA experience on VATSIM going into DCA? Oh, you had an RA into DCA. That's very interesting. No, you have not told me about that one. And the thing is, I don't know. So the newest Airbuses, they have a TCAS, auto TCAS, and I don't know. You know what? I think I have it turned off. Hold on, let me go up front. There is an option in the EFB. Nope, some settings. That's what. There we go. TCAS autopilot. Yep. So that definitely is a setting that you can turn on. FLS. I don't know why I have FLS turned off. I should really turn that on because we are getting airplanes that have FLS. But TCAS autopilot. Yeah, I have that turned off because even though that's a thing for fleet harmonization, they want you to do the same thing every time. Even though the TCAS will comply with it, they want you to do the same thing every time, so you don't have to double think about. That in a situation like that, it's just so important that you not have to think about, does this airplane have a TCAS autopilot or does it not? That they just want you to do the same thing every time. So they just teach us that whether it has the autopilot or not, you always turn off the autopilot. Yeah, let's see. Free mount EFB. What's the other option? Window? Oh, gross. Get that away. Dates. Okay. Yeah. That's coming on the newest set of Airbuses we're getting. Why hydraulic steering? Yeah, I don't know why. Well, yeah. Why is that? Why is that grayed out? Is it because we're in flight? Am I not allowed to do that? It should be on the Y system. I don't know why it's not. Oh well. We'll leave that. We'll leave that alone. You said, yeah. Happened a while back while flying into DC. I was in sequence for the RNAV 19er, I believe. The controller became very busy with something. He got distracted and did not see, he or she, doesn't matter. They became distracted and didn't see the conflict arising, probably. All of a sudden had a climb. Yeah, that'll wake you up right there. Well, usually you'll get the traffic before you get that. Even if it's only for a few seconds, you will still get traffic, and then it will be followed almost, depending on how quick it is. Climb. Ooh, okay. Let me put our expects in here. We gotta... What? Wow, this is a very interesting arrival we have here. Expect to cross the flight level 290. Seriously? I did not realize that. Okay, so we'll put in our expect. So here, let me show you what I'm looking at. I kind of brought up the arrival. Didn't realize that it had all these expects in here. Flight level 290. We'll go ahead and put that in there and activate that. Let's go ahead and select flight level 290 now. And we'll roll it back to 0.79 so we're not screaming it in. 20 miles northeast of Nelly. At or below 210. So we want Nelly, E-L-I-E. Yeah. And we want a -20. This is so weird. This is a weird arrival. So we got a PDO1. We can go ahead and insert that. And we can put a crossing restriction in there of at or below 210. We'll insert that. And then lastly, last expect is 11 whipper at 11,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and do that. Insert there. Excellent. I'll bring the range down just a tad. How far are we from? You know what? Let's go ahead and let's what's our managed speed look like? Yeah, we can do that. And then I'll go ahead and nope. That's not how that should go. Nope, that's not what it should be. There we go. I may have hit two things at the same time. I have no clue what happened there. Alrighty, we got all the expects in there. And let me see. Let me do something. This is going to be completely random, but I have to test this out. Not in database. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there should be a thing where you can type in help. And it should bring up all the information, lat long, place bearing distance, whatever you want to do to insert a random waypoint. I don't know. And this was driving me nuts because I know I've done this in the past, and I was trying to demonstrate this to NFO that like, oh, if you wanted to like make your own place bearing distance, you can go into fix info, type in help to bring up, because it's not a real waypoint, and it will bring in it will bring that page up to, hey, what's the lat long or place bearing distance or whatever it is of this waypoint, and as a little shortcut. Instead of going into data, next page, pilot waypoints, I got place bearing distance 1, right? And then like, so we could new waypoint, and then you could call it whatever you want. So help shortcuts you to this page, essentially. And it wasn't happening in any of the airplanes we flew. So it was really, really annoying me because I know I've done it before. And I think we've upgraded our software to the new FMS standard, and that's why. At any rate, that's kind of off the beaten path there. Let's go ahead and review the arrival, shall we? Bring you all the way down to 10 nautical miles plan. We got Hings, I think that's how you said that. Well, we just crossed some waypoint. It's gonna be at flight level 290. Then we got Pony. Then we got 20 miles northeast of Nelly, and that's gonna be at or below flight level 210. Then Nelly. Then Whipper. Whipper is going to be at 11,000. Then Norwich. Then Soggy. Then I think the way you would say this is, because I'm pretty sure Warwick, the airport itself proper is in Warwick, Rhode Island. I'm gonna say that until it sounds weird, but I think that's what this is supposed to be, is Warwick. You gotta say it with a Boston accent, Warwick. And then CB, and lastly NOSA. And then on the ILS here we have well, let me double check and make sure that the ILS is still being used. ILS 23, it probably is, and it works. Oh, Boston Center is offline, so that's okay. Providence approach is online though, so we'll at least have an approach controller going in. No, weather. There we go. 23003. Is that what I had? Nope. Go ahead and set that in there. I will wait until that levels off. 3003 190F. 5. Okay. So 23 is what it's going to be. So we have this fix, and then from there we will go to Cusca, and then from Cusca inbound we're looking at about 6 miles 3-degree glide slope to the runway. For the missed approach, it will be a climb to 700, then a climbing right turn 2500 on a 350 heading. So 700, 350 heading to intercept the 321 radial to Frosty. There we go. And we'll hold there at 2,500 feet. Looks good. We'll go back down to our flight plan there. RadNav. We have IARJ 1093, 1093. Front course is 226, 227 looks good. And 3-degree glide slope, that all looks good. Progress will go KPVD. Runway 23. Feel like we're gonna have a lot of runway 23 landings here over the next week. Performance approach page. Let's go ahead and get some numbers in there. I said that that the meter is 3003. Yeah, 3003. And now that we have that all done, let me go back to our plan, make sure I haven't missed another top of descent. Yeah, I did. Let's go ahead and manage you on up again. Oh, nope. I gotta put in, what is it, 21? Level 210. Now I can manage you up. Let's see where I am. Progress, 2,000 feet high. Okay. It's not that bad. Airplane. Where was I? Over here. The temperature is 27 degrees. And the winds are 190 at 5. So we'll put that in there. Nope. There you go. And the minimum is going to be 250. And we'll go full flaps, low auto brakes. Excellent. Gate 16 for tonight? No. Gate... Actually, yes. Wow. How did you read... That's the exact gate I was going to go to. Hold on. Yeah, I have gate 16 for tonight. Wow. It's like you were here when I was making the plans. It is indeed gate 16. Make sure to let passengers that we've been changed to Carousel 4. We'll be sleeping at the Hilton Garden Inn, Providence. Remember, it takes about 1,000 plus minimum to flare this aircraft, especially with sharklets. That's the threat we have. Yes, that is the big threat. Sharklets do tend to float a little bit, so not really worried about it. We have a long enough runway here, 23. I'm not too worried about it. 8,700 feet of runway still is within our standard landing assessment there. Plan a Mike 2 turn off, if not a Mike 1. And then we'll take Mike and Tango. Tango is the ramp, and we'll park at Bravo, gate 16. Not Bravo. I don't know why I said Bravo. Gate 16, which is like right somewhere down here. Excellent, which is the one I have set up for GSX. So there we go. Let's see. Hope to spend this layover exploring Providence instead of sleeping. Don't tell the FAA. Hey, as long as you say you're fit to perform your flight duties, you can do whatever you want on your layover, sir. But the second you're not fit for duty is the second you need to call in fatigue. And when the company asks, when you fill out the fatigue report and the company asks, you know, why were you fatigued? And you put down that I was walking around Providence, Rhode Island all day, night, whatever. Then they're going to approve your fatigue report. However, you will not get paid for that. And if you do it enough, a chief pilot is going to eventually call you. Alrighty, so we went over our threats. Sharklet can be kind of floaty. Here, we'll be... I'm trying to figure out which page I want to be on. We'll be coming in on the Whipper 3 arrival. I have all of the specs in there. Our next restriction is 20 northeast of Nelly at or below flight level 210. And we'll expect to cross Whipper at 11,000. So let me just go ahead and put the bottom in there so it knows. There we go. 11,000. We can just go ahead and continue our descent all the way down. Let's plan on doing a visual. We'll back it up with the ILS to runway 23. I'll use full flaps, low auto brakes. Should we go miss? Oh, I never turned on terrain on ND. There we go. Pretty colors. I like seeing colors. Plan on doing a soft go around. It'll be about the tower. Assign heading and altitude since it is a visual approach unless they tell us to do the published, which is in the box and has been verified. And plan on, like I said, a right hand turn off on Mike 2. I don't think I'll get Tango, but I mean, we'll see. So Tango or Mike 2, probably Mike 1 if I miss Mike 2. And then we'll take Mike Tango back around to the ramp there. Anything else you want to add to that? Nope. Excellent. There we go. Our briefing is complete. We're on the descent on down. Beautiful mountains of New York. I think we're over New York. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, because we're coming up over well, Albany? No, well, we're well south of the Albany area. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I can do that and get rid. Oh, yeah. No, okay. No, we're over Massachusetts now. Okay. Well, there we go. Oh, the map is actually... I do not know what update Microsoft quietly did, but this is actually starting to work. Or maybe it's Navigraph actually working better in the sim than it has been in the past. So, yeah, gate 16, I think, is like... Yep, right there. There's 18, that's 14, that's 16. So that's where we're going to be parking. Yeah, it seems like Navigraph is working a lot better. Now, let me do that. How did I bring up the... How do you bring up the release again? I do not know how to bring it back. Oh, some brief OFP. There we go. And I can hide that. I like that a lot better. I like being able to view everything instead of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Got everything right here. So there we go. Beautiful. I won't get rid of that quite yet, but we're not quite on the map yet. So once we get closer to Whipper, then we'll get our little arrow on the map there. So nothing to really see there. Did we make a restriction? And yeah, I think we did. Sweet. Last restriction is Whipper at 11,000. Let me go ahead and Providence. So they Providence approach, tower, and ground are all on. So let me get approach. 123675. 123675. Takes so long to turn the knobs in the Fenix. I wish they would do some sort of acceleration, but that's okay, because I've started noticing myself as well. The aircraft with I wouldn't say new radios, because I haven't flown one with Dreams yet, but the ones that are newer, just pre-Dreams, they spin. You can spin them so quickly to the next frequency. That's actually very nice. I'll just tell the crew van driver to drive me straight to a good lobster restaurant. I'll just eat there in uniform. That's 100%. Every time I go up into like that area of the U.S., the northeast, I guess the New England area, I should say, I have to have lobster. Gotta do it. We're transition is gonna be 3003 set once, twice, and thrice. Let's go ahead and get the wing light on, seatbelt sign can come back on, check our, nope, that's not the right one, status message. And let's go ahead and do a descent checklist, shall we? The altimeters is going to be 3003. Auto brake is low. Perfect approach page is set. Arrival briefing is reviewed. Whipper 3, visual approach, backed up with the ILS to runway 23. Our status is checked. Descent checklist is complete. Yeah, I got it. Ice cold. in here. Oh, I get an auto ATC. Boston City says cross whipper at and maintain 11,000. Providence altimeter 3003. No separation services are provided. Excellent. So we are descending just like auto ATC wants us to descend, and hopefully here we will have ATC. Let's see. Kilo is the number. So whenever they contact us or tell us to contact them, it'll be Kilo. That'll be the number. You do have to get, I do get a little curious sometimes. What airport is that? Just down Hartford. Oh, okay. So we're in the Hartford area. Oh, there's Bradley back here. So that's like Hartford, like pretty much the downtown or municipal airport. And there's Bradley, which is the main airport there. Wow. Look at this airplane. It looks, I mean, I love the Sharklet A321. It is the most 757 look that you can get without being a 757. So there you go. Should I go A319, 20 or 21 tomorrow? That's up to you. I'm going to be going A319, maybe 20 at the biggest, but tomorrow because it's turn and burn. So I usually do a 319 or a 320. For turn and burns, I don't usually do a 321 simply because the deplaning and boarding process is insanely long on those. But like I said, the rest of the week, we will be in a 321. So tomorrow really is the only day where we're not going to be in a 321. Let's see. 13, where we will be descending down to 11,000. I'm going to keep the speed up as much as I possibly can until we get that descent below 10,000 feet. I'll bring this into the 40 nautical mile range. Very interesting arrival here into Providence. I would say I would do a 320. And here's why I would say go with a 320. Is the 319 can have it kind of has a weird flare logic in it, which makes it a little difficult to land. The 321, especially if you're going to be in a shark lake, can be very floaty. The 320 is right there in the middle, where you're going to float it a little bit, but you're not going to float it too much. And you can it doesn't have a weird flare logic in it. So it doesn't feel like you can't get the nose to pitch up when you're trying to flare it. And it's not going to just fall out of the sky like the 319. It feels like you need a lot of back pressure to get the nose to come up, and then it just falls out the sky. So I do not know the correct answer for the 319. That's why I can't wait for the BFU. And all of their updates that they have, or all the data they've collected on real world A319, 20, and 21s side stick inputs to try to get it just right. So I'm really can't wait for the BFU to happen. A319 CFMs, it is actually. I do the 320 CFM. Yeah, that'll be good. Let's see. We are level here at 11,000. I'll keep the speed up. We'll go ahead and select 290 knots on our speed. Let's go ahead and go into the perf. We'll activate the approach phase. Excellent. We shall keep this speed and altitude at least until we make our turn past Soggy, and then once we make our turn past Soggy, then we can descend on down to, I'm thinking 3,000 feet or so. Let's see, because I want to descend so we can intercept the ILS here. So About 3,000 feet or so, maybe 2,000 feet. Because Cusco's at 1,900. So, yeah, we can do that. We'll do Cusco at 1,900. That'll be fine. So, 2,000 feet. We'll intercept just outside of Cusco. Or whatever. We actually have approach control services, so it'll be whatever they tell us to do. I might take a wing fuel pump out. Oh, I want to simulate a old retrofitted America Westbird. That MEO. What MEO should I choose? I might take a wing fuel pump out. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You want to take out an old bird. Most of your stuff is going to be like like nonsensical MELs. If you're taking out old airplanes, let's see. I mean, you could do some CDLs. In fact, it's weird. I had a lot of CDLs on this last trip. It was kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could take out one of the wing tank fuel pumps, and as long as you got the other one running, you should be fine. And then if you lose the other one, then the engine, I mean, you'll still be fine, but then it's gonna revert to gravity feeding. And then there's certain altitude restrictions with gravity feeding the engine, and depending on when the pump failed and what altitude you're at will determine whether or not you will be able to continue climbing or stay at your altitude or go down to a lower altitude. So it really all depends. But that's all noted in the QRH. You'd have to dig into the QRH to find that one though. I would have thought that Providence Approach would want me on their frequency by now, but of course not. There's Providence right there coming into view. Alrighty, let's go ahead and pause our in-flight entertainment right now. And we can go ahead and get our replay going. We'll record that. Thank you. The replay is doing replay things. That's really good. Let's go ahead and prepare our flight attendants for landing. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. Excellent. We'll go ahead and get all of our lights on. We'll put them back into sterile. That is all good. Excellent. All of that's done. I will slow us up to 250 knots now. And then we will descend and maintain, let's call it 3,000 for now. We have some traffic in the area. Don't know where they came from or where they're going to, but they're 1,000 feet below me. So we will wait on that. Do not want to. They're 1,500 feet below me and descending. Oh, nope, that's not the view. No contact. That's quite all right. They're 2,000 feet below me. I'll wait until they're just off my right wingtip, and then I'll begin my descent. And it's going to have to be like a power descent now, since we're almost abeam the airport. Excellent. Looks like they're just abeam me. They're descending. Don't know to where. They're just going down. And let's go ahead and set 3,000 beginner descent down. Gotta watch that hook. Sometimes it can creep up there quite fast. If only Phoenix allowed you to take off flap drag fairings. Yeah. Yeah, you talking about the canoes? The flap fairings there? You talking about these little canoes? Because that happens sometimes. Very rarely, but I have seen that. There's downtown Providence, quite the ways away from the airport there. I don't know. Is this guy actually online or not? Because he has not told me to contact him, not even once. 12367. Let me see. Oh, of course, the second I tune into him is when I get the message to contact him. Lower approach, Delta 3318, 6,700, descending 3,000 with information kilo.
Delta 20, correction, Delta 2150, descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000, Delta 2150.
Delta 2150, reduce speed to 210 knots.
Flowing to 210, Delta 2150.
Delta 3318, Providence approach, hello, maintain 6,000, reduce speed to 210 knots.
Alright, 6,210 knots for Delta 3318. So...
In Delta 3318, you can expect the ILS-23 approach to the Providence altimeter 3003.
We'll expect the visual approach runway 23 for Delta 3318. 210 on the speed.
Victor, contact the tower 120.7, connect.
Alrighty, there we go. Seems like someone is behind us. Interesting. Flaps 1, speed verified.
3318, descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Delta 3318. 3,000. Open descent. Alrighty, tower is 120.7. So we'll go ahead and get that in there so that we're one ahead of the game. Excellent.
Delta 2150, turn left heading 360 for traffic.
Left 360, Delta 2150.
I think we both came in at about the same time. I didn't see him on TCAS, but he is like right behind me. Airport should be, it's well off to the, off our wingtip now.
Southwest 617, we got 13 for 11,000 at Jordan.
4 for 3.
Southwest 617, Providence approach, below the Providence altimeter 3003. You can plan the ILS-23 approach.
We'll plan the ILS-23 approach, Southwest 617.
Delta 3318, turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 1,900.
120, 1,900, Delta 3318. Alrighty, 120, 1,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Delta 2150.
Oh, I had that set. 1,900. That's down. Let's extend off of, what's that fixed name? Cusca. So we'll extend off of Cusca. That looks good. And we will go 120 on the heading. Again. Yep. I'll begin slowing it back as well to like 190.
Right, 130, Delta 2150.
Delta 3318, turn right heading 200, join the localizer.
200 to join the localizer, Delta 3318. Alright, let's go ahead and arm the loc. 200.
2215.
You get it.
For
Flaps 2, speed verified. There we go, loc capture.
350, when able, proceed direct Putnam.
Alright, left turn 350 and direct to Putnam, Delta 2251.
This is further out than I thought we'd be turning. That's quite alright. Huge antennas down here.
318, you're 5 miles from Kupka, cross Kupka at or above 1,900. You're cleared the ILS 23 approach. Maintain 180 knots until a 5-mile final.
Alright, cross Kuska at or above 1,900, cleared ILS runway 23 approach, and 180 knots until a 5-mile final for Delta 3318.
Delta 2150, reduced.
Alrighty.
0 knots now.
170 on the speed, Delta 2150.
So now we have the speed to do it, and so now you're kind of in a situation where you have the option, right? I can go flaps 3 before putting the gear down. Usually we put the gear down before flaps 3. Or I can just go flaps 3 now since I have the speed where I can do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Flaps 3, speed verified.
Southwest 617 to
Well, that way you only have to go gear down before landing checklist. Easy squeezy.
Delta 1691 descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000, Delta 1691.
Providence approach, good evening. JetBlue 2226 descending via
there's downtown Providence. So that's where the convention center is on Thursday evening when we land in Providence for the last time. We'll take the drone on over and do a little tour of the convention center there.
You can expect the ILS 23 approach.
Copy the altimeter, we expect the ILS.
Man, this guy is... We got glide slope capture. We can set the mass approach altitude. That's going to be 2,500.
2150, let's make that 210 to join localizer.
Alright, this guy is overly busy. Low tower, Delta 3318, inbound on the ILS 23.
Delta 3318, Providence Tower, good evening. Wind 19.
Gear down.
You're at 5, runway 23, clear land.
23 cleared to land, Delta 3318. Alrighty, we are cleared to land. Flaps full before landing checklist. Alrighty, all altimeters, we have 3003 and 1580. Engine mode is norm. Landing gear is... Oh, there we go. Down and self-checking. 3 green ECAM memo is... landing no blue before landing checklist is complete. Alrighty, sounds are coming up in the simulator. I will see you all on the ground. Stable. Got a nice little headwind. You see ground speed mini working with us there with this headwind. Again, the higher your ref speed is, the more that's going to add to your float. All of that stuff you got to kind of take into account. So that's why usually, especially on these sharklets, well, Flight Sim already has the glide slope where the pappies aren't really aligned correctly. So they kind of bring you in high over the runway, but that's why a lot of times you'll see the Airbus is kind of dipped down ever so slightly below the glide path, just so they can make it without floating it out of the touchdown zone. Wow, this is all over the place. All right, autopilot's off.
100 above. Minimum. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 5.
Delta 2150, Providence Air, good evening. The wind 190 at 523, clear to land.
Runway 23, clear to land.
Deployed. There's Tango. We'll roll it to the next one, which is Mike 2, I think I said. 80. 60. Beautiful. Auto brakes off, manual braking. Bring it out of idle reverse. And we'll take Mike 2 Mike just like we planned on before. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this week, welcome to Providence, Rhode Island. I will be saying that a lot over the course of the week. What a fantastic landing. A little gusty there towards the end, but everything kind of settled right on in.
Right turn on to taxiway Mike and monitor, or correction, you can call ground on 112.9, good night.
All right, Mike and ground for Delta 3318. You have a great night. Alrighty. So once I make my turn back here onto Mike here. Excellent. I'll go heads down. 121.9. Come on. There we go. The ground Delta 3318 is on Mike, parking gate 16.
Delta 3318, Providence ground, good evening. You said gate 16?
Affirmative.
Delta 3318, Roger, taxi rent by Tango Foxtrot November.
Alrighty, we'll taxi via Tango, Foxtrot, and November for Delta 3318.
Actually, Delta 3318, sorry, that's my bad. It's just rent by Tango.
There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Rent via Tango for Delta 3318. Thank you for the ETC. Y'all have a great night.
You too, man.
Alrighty, excellent. Flaps up. I keep forgetting that the CFMs need a little extra help to taxi around. There we go. We'll get both of those switched off. All of our lights can come off at this time. And the APU can come up and online 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi. Excellent. We'll make this turn on over here. Beautiful landing by the, I think there was the Delta right behind us.
Good evening, standby.
Man, we have a decent amount of traffic here.
And Tango Sierra Charlie 320,
Ah, he was able to make the Tango turn off there. Beautiful.
No, you just looked at the iPhone, I was confused. Oh yeah, I should just, yeah, with that first thing. Yeah, it was actually. Go to Tango Sierra Charlie 320, expect PDC. 683 Sierra Papa, ready to taxi. 683 Sierra Papa, runway 23, taxi by Alpha. 23 taxi via Alpha, 683 Sierra Papa.
Oop, too much noticeable steering there.
Providence ground, Delta 2150, request taxi to gate.
Oh look, there's an Air Transat sitting on one of the gates. We'll be doing that here in a few days.
We'll take any parking, Delta 2150.
Roger, Delta 2150, rent by Tango.
Great landing, thank you very much. Max Racing. This is a little gusty. I actually wasn't thinking I was gonna get a good landing out of that, but it did turn out quite okay. Laps the time. Gotta say that with the Boston accent. Laps the time. Yeah, 100%. Gotta have a laps to roll when I come up to New England. Oh, I should get GSX to actually be at gate 16. Alrighty. Gate 16. No. Excellent. I hope there's not someone on gate 16 already. Is that RJ on gate 16? I would hope that he would be able to see that. You are the air traffic controller. Go ahead and get our taxi light off. No, I don't think they're at gate 16. Gate 16 is the first Delta gate here. What's the best terminal food I've had? That is a hard one. Hold on. Let me find where 16 actually, where the turn in actually is. You know what? I would have to say there's a spot up in Philadelphia that has I don't know what their deal is, but they have chicken and waffles all day, and so I've had their chicken and waffles. Pretty good chicken and waffles for airport food. I mean, most of the places you're gonna go to are gonna be chains anyway. So it's kind of hard to say like what's going to be the best. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not too sure. That is a really good question. In terms of seafood, like most places are going to be chain places anyway. So, like you're almost always going to find illegal seafood. That's what it is. It's kind of overdone, like overhyped. Not really a legal seafoods person. I'd much rather find a more local joint. There we go. Aircraft is parked. Let's go ahead and get that seatbelt sign off. Come on down to the pedestal here. We can shut down engine 2. AP is going, so we can shut down engine number 1. We can go back up top, get our fuel pumps off. Beacon light can come off. Excellent. Let's see. Got a little bow there. Thank you very much. Engine oil looks good. Our hydraulics all look good, and no class 2 status messages. We haven't leaked any oxygen. That is all good. Let's go ahead and do a shutdown checklist. I can definitely hear the door is open. Yeah, that makes sense. Parking brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brakes disarmed. Radar is off. Windshield PWS is off. Our fuel pumps are all off. Slides 8 are disarmed, and our APU is boom on. There we go. The shutdown checklist is complete. Let's see if I can go outside and get hello, my purple people. Oh, the other Delta flight parked all the way down there. Hello, my purple people. This is day 1 of let's see if I can get him to be blocked here, so I don't have an ugly purple person doing things. That's just not gonna work, huh? We're gonna do it like this. How busy it is here today as we start the Expo. There we go. Look at that. All of this, except that breeze. For some reason, that one breeze A220 is just like permanently in there. And then you have, I don't know who this is, but that's a online guy, online. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 6th person just came in. Is there anyone else over here? No, just me. Okay. But yeah, fairly busy, I'm not gonna lie. People are making their way into Providence for the Expo. And the airport, I think this is the MK Studios, Providence, Rhode Island. Or the INI. It might be the INIB. I think it's INI as it, but it's MK Studios is the designer. And there we go. Look at there. We have a terminal. You know how much I could care less about terminal interiors, but there you go for all of you that. And it's nice. It's very interesting. So they got the gate number. The gate number matches the door number. Very, very, very good attention to detail there. Welcome to Rhode Island. Let me go ahead and we'll stop the replay. I will turn off our Fly Live overlay. There we go. The gateway to New England. Escape Lounge. Beautiful. Let me turn this volume back down. That's kind of loud. There we go. A little bit more appropriate there. Ed E says, hello, folks. How are you doing? Ed E, welcome to the Eagles Nest. Hopefully you're having a fantastic evening. We just landed here in the Delta Airlines A321 in Providence, Rhode Island to kick off our week of streaming in and out of Providence. Have some VATSIM controllers, which is absolutely fantastic. Glad that we have some VATSIM controllers online to manage what was certainly going to be a crazy amount of traffic going in. There's our in-transat flight going out to either probably Toronto or Montreal. Who knows where they're going there. Just had a JetBlue spawn in. Beautiful. That's we'll be doing JetBlue ops on a Thursday here, so towards the end of our streaming week there. Tune in tomorrow for Turn and Burn Tuesday. It's going to be a double header. We have an afternoon Turn and Burn and then a evening Turn and Burn scheduled as well. So should be great. We're going to be taking on our first flight the Spirit A320 Sharklet from Providence down to New York's LaGuardia. And as I said earlier in the stream, I couldn't get the mat to jetway to move, so we'll just fly it because I have a freeware scenario. I don't have the payware, which I think is another MK Studios. So I don't have the payware version. I get the freeware, and to me it looks pretty much like how LaGuardia will look. I mean, it uses Microsoft Flight Sim Basic assets. But in my opinion, the way they used it and the way they crafted everything, it looks very good, or realistic enough. So I couldn't get the jetways at the mat to work, so we'll be parking at the regular normal terminal, which is fine. I like the terminal better than a mat anyway, in terms of looks, because obviously it's newer. And then that evening, so we'll go to LaGuardia, come back to Providence, and then that evening we will be doing some United ops from Providence down to Newark, New Jersey. From Providence down to Newark, New Jersey. Picked up the MK Studios scenery there. and it looks absolutely fantastic. It has the new terminal and all of that fun stuff. So looking forward to flying into Newark for the first time on this channel. Should be absolutely fantastic. Looks like they're done on the outside. I'll go ahead and move my drone camera back just a smidge there. Excellent. We'll go inside and say goodbye to the remainder of our passengers, shall we? Excellent. Bye-bye now. So yes, we will we'll do turn and burn. So it's going to be a double header. Tomorrow night. Doubleheader, 2-a-days, however, whatever you want to call it. But we'll be doing 2 streams tomorrow. As it says, hey, thank you. Just got done cutting the backyard. Oh my goodness gracious. Hopefully, you weren't out too much in this. What has to be insane heat that's sweeping the nation right now. So summer, the official summer solstice was a few days ago, and it is letting us know that summer is here, because it just feels like out of nowhere temperatures just skyrocketed into the 90s. I know Max Racing said the high was only 91 today. I think it was hotter. This is a weird thing, hotter in Canada than it was in Houston today. I think that's how that went, which is strange to think about. Canada being hotter than Houston, Texas, but I think the temperature's pretty warm.
I believe gate 21.
Roger, Southwest 617, back to the ramp by Tango Foxtrot.
Tango Foxtrot 617.
And if you absolutely have to be out in this type of heat, make sure you stay well hydrated. Plenty of water. I don't care if you like carbonated water, flat water, doesn't matter. As long as you're staying hydrated, giving your body all the water it needs, as you'll be sweating out a lot of that water.
Crown American 739 requested push and start.
All right, was this the last guy? You say, yeah, I know. Yeah, it was. It was nice. The sun was going down. Okay, so you did a nice evening cut there, which is a great time to do it. You know, we have some numbers that you know. There's lots of stay-at-home moms, right? And yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like the stay-at-home moms kind of like they do the lawn cutting. You would think like, oh, the husband would do that, and that's a man thing, right? But no, seems like the moms are the ones that take care of the lawn as well. Let's go ahead and log off of VATSIM so that we do not end up ruining someone's evening of flying. Excellent. Door is closed and we can dismiss that. Ground services will close up our door, and let's go ahead and go to the ready panel state. We'll activate that and we'll wait for our gray boxes to go away. But yeah, the stay-at-home moms. And so it was very interesting. I think a few days ago, like it's just middle of the day, like pick the hottest time of day, and they're just outside cutting the lawn. And I'm like, you know, growing up, you know, my parents always told me or taught me that at least during the summertime, like, hey, you know, either cut the grass in the morning or cut the grass in the evening. That's how you're gonna avoid being outside all day in the heat. You know, possibly working up a heat stroke there. So you definitely want to be safe while you're out there. I'm going to be spending all day trying not to brick my PC. Max Racing, I built my fair share of PCs, And I can tell you a lot of times when you turn it on and it doesn't work like you think it will, it can be very frustrating. But also when you turn it on and it works perfectly, it's also super rewarding. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get this replay going here. Let's go ahead and we'll load it up. Yeah, very fun stream today. See you soon. Thank you very much, Max Racing, for coming out and spending a little bit of your evening with me. And Ed E, yes, break his PC. So he ended up getting he's pretty much building a new PC here. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit. There you are. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll let that freak out and load in real quick. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and hey, good luck with your PC. Says Eddie. Yes. It is frustrating and rewarding all at the same time. You see Providence. Well, let's go to this side. We'll get the other side on our second run through of the replay there. Says, good luck with your PC. Yep, Ed. When you push a power button and it doesn't come on, that's called yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, I definitely know that feeling. Wait, have we touched down yet? Oh, there's the touchdown. Absolutely beautiful. Like I said, it did float out a little bit, and like I said, ground speed mini actually works against you a lot in situations like this, because you're in a chocolate. Ground speed mini is adding more speed, and every knot it adds is, I mean, someone somewhere calculated it out, X amount of feet of float. I thought right there was where I touched down, but nope. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful landing. It does not get any better than that. I will take that 10 times out of 10. Let's go outside for that replay. Oh, Eddie, you've built a few yourself. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Like I said, it can be rewarding and frustrating all at the same time, depending on if the computer turns on or if it doesn't turn on. Or maybe it turns on, but, you know, it's not recognizing one or two things that you think it should be recognizing. So we'll see if everything plays nicely. Then everything should go smoothly. I was very fortunate when I built this PC that everything was kind of, you know, one of my buddies kind of said, you know, it was kind of weird, something here or there wasn't going to work. And one of my buddies said, you know, everything is more or less plug and play now. You don't really have to worry about things not working anymore. Beautiful. About 2,000 feet down the runway, but that's quite all right. That's like one of those, like if you were aiming for the touchdown bars. Ooh, too far. Well, no. It's one of those, like if you were aiming for the touchdown bars. Ooh. Don't want to do that. If you're aiming for the touchdown bars, you floated that 1,000 feet past them. That seems about normal. Now, to be fair, we're aiming more for like this area, but the sharklets added all that float. Let's go ahead and get our shot over the numbers there. There we go. You can see this is how windy it was. I thought I was going to plant this into the ground. It was that windy. It just kind of settled very gently onto the runway there. Absolutely beautiful. It settled onto the runway. Got a little swirly there. That's quite all right. I'll take that. I'll take a little swirly down the runway here as I was checking. Then the auto brakes do auto brake things. Woo. All right, there you go. Beautiful. Right there. We'll go ahead and get the drone camera lined back up. Head back inside to the front of the airplane here. Okay, it's telling me not to sync. Well, that's quite alright. You can tell me as much as you want to not to sync. Well, I like to think... What's going on? Did my sim just crash? What just happened? What just happened? That was so weird. Alright. Well, in that case, we got the final replay going at this time. I'd like to go ahead and thank Ed E. Max Racing, thank you very much. Rich, thanks for the subscription. Sir William, thanks for hanging out with me this evening. I really do appreciate it. Tune in tomorrow for a double Turn and Burn Tuesday is what we're going to be doing. Initially to LaGuardia, and then the evening time will be a turn to Newark, New Jersey. Until I see you all at the very next live stream, please do remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Grey Eagle. Peace.